In the glittering world of Hollywood friendships that often flicker under the relentless spotlight of fame, few bonds shine as enduringly as the one between Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez. Their connection, forged in the fires of young love and shared heartaches, has weathered storms that would sink lesser ships. Recently, at a wedding that felt less like a ceremony and more like a triumphant celebration of love's quiet victories, Swift took the stage to deliver a speech that peeled back the layers of their sisterhood, revealing a tapestry woven from laughter, tears, and unshakable loyalty. It was a moment that transcended the opulent venue, the cascading floral arches, and the sea of designer gowns, etching itself into the hearts of everyone present, and beyond as whispers of its warmth rippled through social media like a gentle breeze on a summer evening. Picture the scene: fairy lights twinkling like captured stars against a velvet night sky, the air thick with the scent of blooming peonies and the faint, celebratory notes of champagne flutes clinking in toast. Selena Gomez, radiant in a gown that seemed to capture the very essence of her journey from child star to empowered icon, stood arm in arm with her new husband, Benny Blanco. The guests, a constellation of A-listers who had long admired Gomez's grace amid personal tempests, watched with bated breath as Swift ascended the small dais. Dressed in a soft lavender ensemble that echoed the hues of their shared sunsets in Malibu hideaways, Swift clutched a microphone not with the polished poise of her era's tour performances, but with the raw vulnerability of a best friend unveiling her soul. Her voice, usually a powerhouse belting anthems of heartbreak and resilience, softened to a conspiratorial whisper that drew the crowd in, making strangers feel like confidants. Swift began with humor, her trademark wit slicing through any potential sentimentality like a well-timed guitar riff. "Selena," she said, her eyes sparkling with mischief, "we've been through so much together. Enough drama to fill a Netflix series, enough inside jokes to stock a comedy club. But today? Today you went and beat me to the altar. I mean, come on, girl. I thought we had a pact. We'd drag each other kicking and screaming into singledom forever." The audience erupted in laughter, Gomez herself doubling over with giggles that lit up her face like the first rays of dawn. It was a light-hearted jab, but beneath it lay the truth of their history, a pact unspoken, born in 2008 when both were teenagers navigating the dizzying whirl of first loves with the Jonas Brothers. Swift, then a country ingenue with dreams bigger than her Nashville roots, and Gomez, the Disney darling stepping tentatively into the adult world, found solace in each other amid the chaos of tabloid scrutiny and teenage angst. As the chuckles faded, Swift's tone shifted, deepening into a reverence that hushed the room. She spoke of the early days, those fragile hours spent on cross-country flights, trading stories of crushes gone awry and the sting of public breakups that felt like personal apocalypses. "Remember that night in the hotel room after the awards show?" Swift reminisced, her voice catching just enough to betray the emotion she was trying to veil. "We were both wrecked. Me over a boy who didn't know the meaning of forever, you over the pressures of a spotlight that never dims. We ate room service at midnight, blasted our demo tracks until the walls shook, and promised each other we'd rise from the ashes, fiercer and freer." It was these moments, Swift explained, that solidified their bond, turning acquaintances into anchors. They had cheered each other through career pivots. Swift's bold leap from country twang to pop symphony, Gomez's courageous pivot from scripted lines to raw, confessional songwriting. Through lupus diagnoses that tested Gomez's spirit, through Swift's battles with media misogyny, they had been each other's mirror, reflecting back strength when self-doubt clouded the view. Delving deeper, Swift painted a portrait of Gomez's evolution that was as poetic as any lyric from her folklore era. "Selena, you've always been a force, a quiet storm wrapped in kindness. But watching you embrace yourself truly and unapologetically has been my greatest gift. You've taught me that healing isn't linear, it's a dance, sometimes clumsy, often beautiful. And in that self-love you found Benny, not as a rebound or a rescue, but as a partner who sees the galaxies in your eyes." The words hung in the air, heavy with authenticity as Blanco squeezed Gomez's hand, his eyes misty with unspoken gratitude. Swift continued, extolling Blanco not as a celebrity producer with a Rolodex of hits, but as the most perfect person for her friend. Someone who laughed at her quirky obsessions with true crime podcasts, who cooked midnight tacos during late-night writing sessions, who understood the weight of fame without letting it crush the tenderness between them. "You too," Swift declared, her voice rising with conviction, "are the perfect pair. Not because you're flawless, you're both gloriously human, but because your connection is built on the real stuff. Late-night confessions, shared playlists, and the kind of love that says, 'I've got you always.'" The speech wasn't just words, it was a time capsule, unspooling 2 decades of memories that underscored the rarity of their friendship. Swift recalled the spontaneous road trips across the California coast, windows down, singing off-key to each other's unreleased tracks, dreaming of Grammys and sold-out arenas. She evoked the quieter battles, the therapy sessions they attended virtually during lockdowns, the group chats filled with memes to pierce the gloom of cancelled tours and health scares. We've cried over lost loves, celebrated wins that felt like miracles, and held space for each other's silences, Swift said, her gaze locking with Gomez's across the aisle. In a world that loves to pit women against each other, you've been my reminder that sisterhood is the ultimate rebellion. It was a sentiment that resonated beyond the wedding tent, echoing the broader narrative of female solidarity in an industry often riddled with rivalry. Fans who had long shipped the duo as the epitome of #squad goals, flooded timelines with clips and quotes, turning the speech into a viral manifesto for authentic connection. As the evening unfolded, the impact of Swift's words lingered like the afterglow of a perfect sunset. Gomez, visibly moved, pulled Swift into a hug that spoke volumes, their embrace a silent vow renewed. The laughter had given way to tears, not of sorrow but of profound joy, trickling down cheeks lined with mascara and memories. Blanco, ever the supportive spouse, raised a glass in a toast that amplified Swift's praise, calling her the third wheel that made our love story possible, with a wink that elicited fresh peals of mirth. The night progressed into dancing under the stars, with Swift and Gomez leading a conga line that snaked through the garden, their joy infectious and unfiltered. It was a reminder that amid the glamour, the real magic lies in these unguarded moments, where vulnerability becomes victory.